Hello guys. Today I will share you how to create modern interior design for the house only by having its plan. I will be using Google Sketchup online version, also standalone installable free version, and also a 3D warehouse. Let's go to Zillow, which at least Google says me that it's one of the biggest real estate websites in US. It's arguably, I don't know. And I was trying to find the apartment or a house which would be which would fit for our interior design creation journey. Okay, I found one example, and what's actually after is actually these like say blueprints or plans of the house, where I could see how rooms are placed, how big they are, etc. But actually, whole house is not too big in here. But maybe even bigger problem is that it's a little bit scattered. It has many rooms for its size, and we not really can present our skills in such area. So I decided to actually leave that one alone for time being, and maybe to find something better with better plan and maybe some bigger area. And I came across actually in front of this one. So it has quite big living room, spacious one. We have a kitchen island. We have a nice kitchen, and all interior looks more modern. And really love this area actually that we can explore. It has like a chilling zone, TV zone. It has dining area. It has kitchen. And someone created actually with AI some footbed furniture. But look at this one. This is quite interesting. I had one short about why you should not use AI. First of things, it just drops furniture to imagine how it could be. But if you look more carefully, like see where couch is placed, and if we look at the door, here's the door and here's the door, and now I'm going to another corner where we saw couch. It stands just in front of the door. You see this item? It's I guess it's to stop the door. The one exists behind these, and yeah, and it's exactly the couch was placed exactly in front of the door. So that's why I'm not suggesting to rely purely on AI, because you will not go far. And actually, I didn't like the classic furniture placed in this interior, but the whole area was good, and we starting to model our 3D design. What I'm taking now, it's gonna be a little bit fast, and as I mentioned, please tell me if you want me to talk more detailed how I'm doing things, but I will talk now anyway about this one. So I'm trying to follow the walls and raise them up. I'm just on top of the plan. I'm drawing SketchUp lines so they convert into surfaces, and later on I will be able to just simply lift them up, and there will be our walls. I'm not paying too much attention into the, how thick wall is, how wide the doorways are, or how tall they are, or where windows might be, placed exactly. Why? It's because it's our artificial interior design, which we using only to present our skill, but not actually to hand over that work for a client. So client don't have to take measurements from our project. It's just gonna end up in our website stating that, look how cool we are. We can do this design with no effort. And actually that's true, because interior design, you have like you have empty walls. It's like a canvas. You putting your imagination and your ideas into it. You're trying to adapt to the space and use that to the maximum. Plus, you're adhering to the requirements from the client. Should they want classic? Should they want modern? Should they want something, I don't know, Spanish style? I don't know. But I decided to use, in this example, something modern. I guess my most designs that I created earlier was sort of towards modern style or more Nordic style. And I think that will fit well for this house, and that would fit well for our portfolio. Okay, so you see, we raised the wall, we placed Chap in the living room so we could see the size of it. Let's call him Bob. Bob stands and watches how we're working, so work would be moving forward. And yeah, we're adding some windows, so again to put more realism, so we don't have only walls. So it doesn't really matter, because we can add as many windows as we like, because it's not even, we don't want to move that to the client. And okay, what I was doing here is actually, when you're creating with SketchUp 3D, and you may see that I'm using online version, it's very important to have groups, so your surfaces would not overlap, and then at the later stage, you can't actually adjust things. When you're moving one dot, suddenly whole house goes mad. This is interesting feature that I'm using right now. It is 3D Warehouse. People who might be working with SketchUp, they know that. So 3D Warehouse is a place where you can download an entire model for yourself and use it as you like, and they are entirely free. You're just downloading. As you may see what I'm doing here, the kitchen that I downloaded was quite cool, nice, and it may be for a huge house it would be perfect. However, our living room is not as big, so I just removed a few parts. I just kind of squeezed that into space that we have, and it looks like it's designed for this house. So I kind of saved time by not creating it by myself. Okay, when we're working with TV zone, so now we're trying to kind of create some minimalistic style, so kind of edgy corners and some TV area where it's going to be placed. And when you're creating furniture which is from hardwood, from the planks, etc., you can actually use your imagination. That doesn't matter. You can download it from 3D Warehouse and place it, because that furniture is easy to manufacture. So you can just put an order, put measurements, and someone's gonna do that for you. However, that is entirely different story when you're looking at soft corners or something, which can't be made easily. Then you rather look for items that are in shops, so your client will actually find them and buy them. At least that's what I'm trying to achieve in the most of my designs, so I could put, the list of items that you need to buy in order to actually have it in your house. And okay, so a bit mentioned about SketchUp Online. SketchUp Online is a version which is entirely for free. You can practice as much as you like. And you can use 3D Warehouse. It's a little bit limited with the capabilities that you have. So whatever I'm doing over here, you may see everything is happening in online version. So you still can do it. But at the later stages, as I mentioned, not everything went very smoothly. I experienced some lagging. It's not because of, SketchUp Online doesn't work very well. Maybe that's my computer. As far as I read, I think SketchUp Online keeps cache in your browser. Therefore, you need to have lots of memory to work smoothly. Maybe my computer is not that powerful. And it stopped saving for me. So whenever I was doing the design, I suddenly observed it tries to save, everything is freezing for a second or a couple, and it saves. So it's auto save. So in case your browser gonna crash, you're gonna be saved, and you can continue your work just by coming back to your project and just doing your stuff. However, after some time, I was waiting until it's gonna save, and it just simply told I couldn't save it. And I then had to repeat my 5 minutes of work again and again. And then later on, I decided, no, I'm not going to do that again. I need to download standalone version. It's also, you have free trial. And how we using SketchUp Online and free trial? Why we doing that? Why we're not purchasing Pro? Is because we're not gonna sell that design. It's gonna be for sale. It's not for a client. We simply demonstrating our skills, what we could do, and that you can do almost as much as you like. There is I think limit of 7 days for free trial, but I think that's more than enough actually to create a portfolio, maybe for 3-4 items for yourself. Okay, so if we're looking at my house, it's kind of getting shape. So we putting some windows. You may saw that I created some TV zone, and some items that you're downloading are not perfect, so you need to adjust them. For instance, I'm downloading the window, and it doesn't, obviously, it will not fit for my wall, so I need to kind of change the size. But with SketchUp, it's just a push, pull, just putting some surfaces, squeezing them, and all works fine. Yes, I had to move our Bob onto the roof because he was annoying me, and I think you will see better from there. Yeah, but when we put the roof, it kind of disappeared. Okay, doesn't matter. We continue to download and look for a couch. As I mentioned, this thing is a bit hard to manufacture, so I was looking for real items that could be placed in here. I thought it might be also very interesting to put some decorations on the walls. It brings some kind of smoothness, and at the same time it divides areas into one room. You still can have different areas within it. For instance, TV zone should look kind of separate from the kitchen, though you still can communicate. That's why you have kitchen in your living room and not separated by the wall. You have airy and spacious living room, but at the same time, you don't want to watch TV in the kitchen. Well, usually, I don't. Okay, we're putting some decorations. Now a little bit about the colors and lights. When we're talking about colors in here, I'm trying them to make kind of close to what I want in my final results. But at the later stage, you understand that it's entirely not important at this time. Why? Because it's not our rendering. It's just our design. So what we want to have is actually all the surfaces. Should it be a curtain, blinds, TV furniture, or kitchen? All of those should be kind of in the right shape. But when it comes to the materials or colors, everything later gonna be applied via D5 rendering. At least that's my plan. Even though, I could add also the coffee tables, couches, TVs, all those items that you see right now, I can add through D5 render. The thing is that in D5 render, you can't change the shape. For instance, if you have a kitchen, you can't remove half of it. So you have to do that in the SketchUp. So that's what we're trying to achieve. Later on, we apply all the materials. Okay, so maybe you already saw I'm starting to experience some lagging in SketchUp Online. There is one advice what you could do, even if you're working not on online version, but on a standalone installation of SketchUp, is actually to create the scenes where not everything is visible. So for example, I created the scenes where my furniture is not visible and my decorations. So I simply tagged items in my design and made them invisible. When I need to think about new idea, how I'm gonna approach new area, I need to see whole thing. So I would simply just enable them, I can see them, and then that's it. I can imagine what I should see in the left corner or in the right corner. Then again, turn off everything else and work on the item. So now I decided I'm gonna create a mirror how wall gonna look like. I'm putting again some unnecessary decorations like cell phone and keys. Now we're putting the lights in, and later on, even those lights in a D5 render, you could actually craft them in a way that they will shine, or certain material will shine. So that bubble of the lamp gonna shine. Oh, okay, that will emit the light. I tried to create that corner. Looks nice. I decided to extend the wooden part of the wall, and here I had a glitch. Like I had to redo those things several times because I couldn't save my work in an online version. So once I saw that that's happening, I again tried to hide all the things, but that didn't really help. I guess my computer is just not powerful enough. I never prepared it for 3D design. Maybe that's I need to put some donation link, and guys could actually throw some coins into me, and I will buy a new memory card or whatever, or 3D card. So at some point now we're building dining area. So again, I put that wooden wall, which I later on will get rid of because I thought it's just too much of the wood around the walls, and it might be kind of too squeezing space. I really like those rectangle-ish tables. But for this area especially, it was a bit odd. You could not place it, so you could walk by very easily. So I think the best thing in this design would be a round table, because then you can accommodate more people, but actually it will fit into the design. So now we kind of moving ahead, and I'm still waiting for that moment where I kind of realize, oh my god, nothing got saved. I think it's just around the corner. Now we're starting to work on the lights. We also downloaded from a warehouse new lights for our living area. And from those lights, actually, I picked a few, and I could delete the rest of them. So from 3D warehouse, you can, as you see, it's just gazillions of items. You can adjust them as you like. You can even look at the bit of them. And one more thing that I usually was paying attention. Here is glitching. I started to work on curtains, and as curtains are like a banded surface, it has lots of lines, lots of curves, and it has lots of polygons actually to make those curves. Therefore, they, of course, utilizing lots of memory. And when you're selecting them and starting to work with them, it becomes hard. So now I have installed a version of SketchUp into my computer, and I could work really smoothly as never. So work become much faster. I actually decided to alter the kitchen because I want that to look kind of go hand in hand with a wall. So I'll make some inner materials of the kitchen brown, and that will fit into space greatly. Okay, so about 3D warehouse and items that you're downloading, you usually need to look at the polygon count when you're kind of scrolling through the items. Look at the polygon count. Why that is matter? Because if you see a nice picture, but there is 200 polygons for the curved surface, that item will be no good because it doesn't have details. On the other hand, if you have 5 million polygons, even for a coat or a plants or some couch, of course, it might be likely very detailed, but your design will barely move. It's over detailed for your design. So you rather add details when you're working on rendering, whether it would be D5 or V-Ray rendering, because then you could apply those details as a texture on your item, then put nice lighting on it, and that will work fine. You don't need that much details in your 3D design. However, you need to enough so shape would be right. But although stitches on the couch just put them on the rendering software. And we're getting closer to the end of our design, and we're putting lights. Why I'm putting lights at the end? That's also a very important thing, because you have to place furniture before you know where to place the lights. And I sometimes getting from my clients, oh, can you just do me electricity and just put where light's gonna be, where socket's gonna be? How are you gonna place socket when you don't know if there will be your couch in front of it, or where your TV gonna hang, or how big your kitchen's gonna be? That is very important to know before you're actually putting the lights. So you can't do electricity before you're putting all the furniture in, at least roughly. So that's it. We created 3D design with Google Sketchup from pure floor plan. I'm really happy with the end result. Not sure how about you. You might have an opinion, of course. Nobody likes my designs. You can feel free to leave the comments what I could do better next time. Should I talk slower? Should my videos be slower? Should I improve my English or change haircut? Maybe not that. But next time we'll be working on D5 rendering, and we'll try to apply lights and materials. I yet to record that video, so if there are things that I could do better, please let me know. Thank you guys. See you next time.